The cultural differences between the West and Chinese. Chinese has a natural defensive mentality that kept them defending their unity under their cultural heritage on the same territory with 56 ethnic groups under one Confucian philosophical cultural practice. Nowhere on earth could replace their ancient motherland called
中国
meaning the central kingdom that stood for more than 4,000 years for many dynasties under their basic Confucian philosophical teaching of humanity, morality, and social system. They think like farmer building and protecting their farmland with fences. They don't care if their neighbors, who are doing better and wealthier than them, as culturally they always wish to each other.
恭喜发财
Meaning may you get more prosper during Chinese New Year. They wish other to succeed is their oldest culture. This taught them lesson not to envy in destructive ways but to work hard, never demonizing those who are doing better, because envy is considered shameful behavior and not acceptable by their society as barbaric and uncivilized. Praising people learning from those who mistreated them is considered wise to achieve peaceful solution. They fought many wars against intruders and internal conflicts to maintain their cultural unity and territorial sovereignty. The European are very different in cultural behavior. They fight each other not only for survival, but for pride and glory to show who is the strongest and wealthier. That makes them very competitive in everything, from sports competition to who has the most beautiful palace, cities, and church architecture. They understood luxurious lifestyle with all their luxurious creations, where else the Chinese only goes for peace and prosperity, for comfort and securities to survive with practical creations for everyday's efficiency and living in frugality. The Europeans has nomad mentality to go out to conquer each others for expansion and glorious achievements. And they fought war to divide among themselves and compete for glorious victory. They use religion for conquest to glorify God and themselves. They use God to fight unholy wars of genocides and discrimination. Since the creation of Christianity as religion of the Holy Roman Empire in 330 AD by Constantine. Today the Chinese New Year's is the 4,721st New Year's, since they started the first spring Thanksgiving festival, when people were making their best offering to thank God for His blessing. This is similar to Adam and Abraham making offering to God in the Old Testament, before mankind created many godly organization called religion to follow. They believe in Shangdi, meaning God is the only creator of the universe, but without the image of God, any holy books or prophets to agree or dispute. And they also recognize Shen, meaning Holy Spirit of God 2,000 years before Christianity. Since the beginning of their civilization, God or Holy Spirit, Shen, is written in the same word as love. That's why they believe God is love. Hence they will never allow hatred and killing in the name of God, or fight to dispute their godly beliefs like other religious cultures, with many religious conflicts even among the same religions. They believe even their enemies has the same God who created all mankind, and celebrated Thanksgiving in every important events by making offering to God, from childbirth, marriage to business startups. Interestingly, they also don't believe in going to heaven. They believe heaven only for God and angels, and no man has the right to be there. If they are blessed, they will be living in peace and prosperity for generation to come. Bad karma will always follow them if they treated unkindly towards others, and they will definitely goes to hell for punishment. They believe in order to live in peace is to have peaceful neighbors who are not hungry, and that's by sharing their prosperity. Learning from their ancient Great Wall experience, they concluded that no matter how high and long the walls, the hungry will always climb over for food, therefore always help the poor to thrive. The Western mentality is based on pride and glory, and they won't do the same to their poor neighbors like the Chinese, because they believe they will create more potential competitors. Like today, they are so afraid China will become more glorious than them, which Chinese will never even think about. This mentality is just not their cultural behavior to go for pride and glory. Chinese just cares about their peaceful coexistence and survival of their civilization for thousands of years with the motherland in mainland China. This is the reason few Westerners understand why China is so focused on building infrastructures on remote areas with little economy values. This is because the Chinese learn from thousands of years' experience through success and failures, that the infrastructure is important not only to unite China, but it give opportunities to the poor untouched communities to create business for themselves to thrive and participate the vast Chinese economic growth. Instead of educated them without support, that they have no option but to flood the cities for employments like many unsuccessful underdeveloped countries, and many smarter people has to look for jobs abroad in developed countries. We may think China is very different, but every successful multinational corporation in US and around the world are managed by meritocracy and authoritarian leadership like China. None are by democratic voting system, that any scammers and snake oil salesmen could take over the CEO position by popular votes. Singapore and China are the best example of the most economically successful countries that manage by meritocracy like a multinational corporation with professional decisions that works, even may not be popular like in Western countries' democratic system. When politicians spend more time campaigning and worrying about their popular votes than working for the well-being of their people who need them the most. With their short-term and uncertainties, many become corrupted to get their money back from their political investments in the shortest period. And all these lead to transform Western democracy into plutocracy where politicians being controlled and blackmailed by their campaign contributors and lobbyists. And most political leaders are just being used as instruments to protect corporate interest to survive and profit. Thank you for watching.